reported by CNN. So back in 1992, a nearly 2,000-year-old wooden object was found in northern England, and it was believed to be from the days of the Roman Empire. It was identified at the time as a craft tool because it was found alongside some shoes and some dress accessories and stuff like that. But according to a new study that was recently published, that tool was misidentified at the time, and they have now figured out what this wooden object is really for. And
Hmm.
so, Peter, any idea what the Romans used this wooden object for almost 2,000 years ago?
I'm sure it's for stretching of some kind. Like a roller of today, like a little stretching ball. I'm sure it's something for that. Um, so we'll stick with that. Some kind of personal health item.
Depending on who you're talking to, they might say it's for stretching. Researchers think it was a sex toy.
Mm.
We got pictures of it. Check this out. Look at that. So this is a carved object measuring 6.3 inches long, and it represents the only known example of a non-miniaturized wooden phallus from Roman times, because I guess the Romans like mini dicks. So it's
Hmm.
the only
Hmm.
example of a non-miniaturized one. I guess in some ways, people 2,000 years ago weren't much different than us today. What do you think?
I'm thinking splinters mostly. That's all I can really imagine. Isn't that the Romans? Isn't that their jam? Isn't that
Is
the?
it?
I think
Is
so.
it the
Yeah,
wood or the splinters?
just all of it, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's what they're about. That squad.
They're all about the splinters and
Yeah, that's all I
and
can
the
think of. You would think that they would have access to something softer, I guess.
you think. Yeah, I mean, they did make the Colosseum. I don't know.
Yeah,
So, well, let me ask you this. So, that tool that I just showed you,
right.
researchers actually they think that it served multiple purposes. So they think that the sex toy thing was like one purpose and that it might have served other purposes. For every story we do, I try to ask a question somehow related to the story.
Sure.
And so my question for this one is, if you were around 2,000 years ago and you owned that wooden object, what
Uh,
would you have used it for?
rolling pin.
For a did you say bowling pin or
I said
rolling
I
pin?
said rolling pin or
Rolling
that if
pin.
they had that, yeah. Either one.
Put that up again, Joel. Put that thing up again. It's not going to be very even. Well, maybe there. Yeah, I don't know. Use the one side, maybe. I
But
don't
it's
know.
like unique to the area. It's like a regional baked good because it's oblong or whatever. I don't know. What
A
else?
regional
What
baked
what did
good.
they what did they think it was? I mean, they're first of all, I think they just say things so they have something to report, but like what would they have proposed that like what else did they think that was going to be used for, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe a hammer, maybe. I don't know. But like if you put it up one more time, Joel, the
So
right side,
you
it's
don't have to
pretty
keep putting it up.
clear. It's pretty clear the right side why it was carved the way it was.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know.
Right.
Let's just move on. All right, this one's interesting. So somebody posted a job ad on Craigslist, which is not uncommon, right? They were looking for someone to manage a website for them. But
Mm.
this request was a little out of the ordinary. Peter, what kind of web page do you think they were looking to have somebody manage?
I'm trying to go to the darkest direction here, but I don't know if it's far enough.
You get the trend of the show already?
Yeah, yeah, I don't man. Is it historical Roman sex objects? Is it to manage like the sale of those things maybe?
You're not far off.
Yeah.
They wanted someone to manage their dating profile on Hinge, and we've
Okay.
got the actual real ad. Put that up, Joel. Kind of hard to read, but I'm gonna read some of the gist. So they said the person that wrote this, they said they have a low motor for messaging, and they want someone who is a witty banterer. They said they'll pay them commission, so they'll pay them $200 if they get a date, $2,000 if they end up with a girlfriend, and 10 grand if they get a wife out of this thing. Now,
Ooh.
my first natural question, wouldn't the girl realize after meeting the guy that he's not the one she's been talking to? Don't you think?
Maybe. Now, the real question is the person that this person hires, will they also be going on the dates with them? Like, how are they in the room? Are they going on dates? Are they going home? Like, what?
But then how is he gonna how's the guy marrying the girl?
I there too. Like, they're at the wedding. I don't like
Is he
how much.
standing up at the front of the
That's what I'm
church?
saying. Are they the minister? At what point do you actually break it off? I don't know. It's not a
I
bad
don't
deal
know.
though. It's not a bad deal.
You mean if you're the guy applying for the job ad? Is that what you're saying?
If you're the person managing.
If you're the person managing it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like that's a pretty solid like weekend.
Maybe it's a
Something
hell
to
of a
do.
commitment to try to get the 10 grand though. That's a time commitment.
You're really just in it for the 200. Like you're not
Maybe
going for the 10
multiples of
grand.
200.
Right,
Like,
right, right.
I would just ask every girl I know, I need you to do me a favor on Friday.
Right. Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
I'll cut you in.
Exactly.
I'll cut you in.
You're never going for like the top end. You're just gonna take the low hanging fruit, which is
Yeah. Multiples of
it's
it.
quantity. It's quantity.
Yeah. Okay, this is an easy one. Have you ever been catfished?
No. No.
You had to think about it though.
No. Definitely not. Yeah.
Are you sure?
No, actually, I'm not. I haven't stood up. That sucks. That's a really crappy day.
Okay, that happens. You've never been catfished before.
I wasn't on the apps very long. I got rid of those pretty quick. So those didn't really come along until after I was out of college. And I just wasn't. I tried them. I think everyone tried them at least once. But after that, yeah. I don't think it was even like a real thing really until weren't the apps out for a little bit and then it became a thing? Like how fast did catfishing
dating profiles go back years.
Sure.
Like decades now.
But has catfishing been around? Like did that come with that right away?
So I had one incident when I was about 19.
Okay.
I had an incident where a girl that I started talking to online, she sent me a photo and it was very clearly from a magazine.
Right.
It was very obviously a glamour shot from a magazine.
Right. Like the scratch and sniffs underneath for the perfume.
It might as well have been. It might as well have been. And sometimes you have hope, right? But I'm not that stupid. And so when I saw this glamour shot, I knew she's full of shit.
Right.
And so then when she was starting to say, what are you doing this weekend? What are you doing this weekend? She started saying, do you mind if my friend comes with me? And she would send me like regular pictures and say, this is my friend. Do you mind if the friend comes with me? And it turned out the friend was her. I didn't meet her.
Interesting.
But she came clean. She said the friend was her. And then I told her, I knew from the beginning, this was a bullshit.
Right.
You took this from a website or something.
Right. Now, did she say why she did that?
Self-confidence thing, a little bit nervous about the internet. So I never met her. And that's the only incident I ever had. So I guess lucky for me, none of the shit you hear today, like that football player. Like 10 years of that shit.
Yeah, that's yeah. Did you watch that? You watched that documentary?
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. That guy could have had any girl he wanted.
That's so sad. Like that whole situation was just so crazy.
It was
so crazy.
Yeah.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I click the subscribe button. You really should too. If you like videos about real news stories that are funny, stupid, or weird, subscribe now.